Number 4, watch your audience. You know, you can read audiences like a book, and if you haven't discovered that yet, well, you're in for a delightful surprise, or perhaps even a traumatic experience when you actually open your eyes. And to do that, you actually need to be engaged. Eye contact is everything for a speaker. It is impossible to communicate with someone looking like that. You just can't do it. And also, it's impossible to communicate looking at someone like that. That's the first rule of video conferencing, by the way. Don't look into nothingness, look into the camera. If you've got to look at the other person because the camera's here and the screen's there or something like that, for goodness sake, make sure when you're actually, it's your turn to speak, that you're looking directly into the lens of the camera. Then they will see the warmth of your spirit and they will connect with your soul. And without that, there is nothing. So scan the room. Make sure that you're constantly looking around, eye to eye to eye. Wash the room with your eye cover. Make sure that you're looking at people up at the back. Yes, I mean there. Yes, I am meaning you up there. That's right. And I've noticed you up. Yes, you're right up in the gallery. Yes, I haven't forgotten you too. No, you're not saying that. You're looking. You're communicating with your eye, your gestures. You are there. You're involving them. You're bringing them in. Go and find them if necessary. Get down off that platform. Go amongst the tables and go and talk to them. Yeah, and they may even have some name badges, which means you can address them by name. Make sure that we are listening to their body language. Huh? That's not necessarily hostile. It's just curious. I hadn't thought about that. People are amazingly transparent. You know, if I'm in an audience, I'm probably a nightmare to a speaker because because I'm so aware of how we all leak data. I tend to be sort of immovable. I tend not to shuffle or scratch my head, or I don't betray things, but most people do. Most people leak data at the rate of 100 bits every second by their posture, the movement, even blinking. Yeah, like that, or it's amazing what happens. And when you are seeing instantaneously 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even 1,000 people, 2 or 3, 400 or 1,000 people, all at the same moment, you see their faces radiating stuff to you, then you're getting a lot of data. And when you're getting that data coming back, it's tremendous because it becomes a conversation. Like you put out a provocative statement, say, yeah, I know some of you. Yes, I know. Yeah, I can see. You're puzzled by that. But let me explain that a bit more. Because you had to explain it because you realized that the first explanation had created curiosity, but not conviction. And it might be a new concept. It might be a surprising story. It could be something that actually turns out to be more obvious than you thought to a good third of the audience, so you're going to need to move on fast. Or give an explanation. Say, I know that this is familiar for some of you here who are involved in X, Y, and Z, but for others, this is a very important point. I just need 2 minutes before we can move on. So we make sure that we're involved, we're engaging, we are understanding, and all the time being careful also not to make a cultural blunder. And in that, I must say, humour is a very dangerous area. By all means tell a joke, but be extremely careful to check it out with the conference organisers beforehand, or at least be sure that it's not going to cause some inadvertent offence, because it's easy to do. It's best to be amusing without telling a joke. Jokes are often culturally sensitive and can actually block the flow of your presentation. It's relatively easy, however, by the way in which you act, to be amusing and entertaining, even by the way that you move, your facial gestures and so on, just by being larger than life, for example, without the same risk that you might get through trying to tell a long joke. I've been in conferences where people have made the most catastrophic errors. I can't believe it. Slagging off, criticising one particular racial group, a racial group that is present in the room. And you could feel the stunned silence, and people saying, did he say that? Did he actually say that? And then the horror as people realise that he actually did. And you know what? Sometimes the speaker doesn't even realise what they've done. Such is their disconnection with the audience. So that means getting away from too much PowerPoint, getting away from written notes, being free and released to float, to be responsive, to be reactive, and to be engaging. And engaged. And then you'll have a very happy audience who are provoked, challenged, entertained, and who have accepted you and embraced you as a friend, as part of that community, and will love you to bits for the fact that you've paid them that attention and honoured them